Golfers, welcome back to the channel. The January blues have kicked in. I hope everyone had a great Christmas and a happy new year. I wish everyone the best success within their game in 2025. If you've stumbled across this video or my channel for the first time, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Every time I upload a video, you'll receive a notification, and that is associated with any department of the game that you'd like to develop and also improve on. In today's video, we're going to discuss a brief concept I look at on a daily basis with a lot of golfers that struggle with short game. And what I mean by short game, club head hits the ground relative to the golf ball that's placed on the ground. One thing we do see is the club head hits the ground, golf ball. So the low point moves behind the golf ball. Different shots, thins, tops, a host, different shots, negative and unhappy golfers in the process. So the ego's deflated and we're not entirely sure what we're doing wrong. One thing that I do see on a daily basis, if you think about when you set up to any pitch shot, we want our shoulders relatively level, if not our left shoulder slightly lower than our right shoulder. So issue number one, we do see the ball position gets too far forward, we create too much spine tilt. So you think about here, my shoulders are relatively level. With a driver, we want this right shoulder to be slightly lower, then the left shoulder to be slightly higher, so left shoulder higher, right shoulder lower. That opens up a can of worms in terms of where the weight is going to be located at impact. So if we create too much tilt behind the golf ball at address, left shoulder higher, right shoulder lower, you can see my weight is going to systematically be located into a right side. And then as we come through impact, the weight is going to stay on the right foot unless I drive my legs. You see my lower body thrust too far ahead of the upper body in an attempt to get our low point ahead of the golf ball. So stage one, we need to understand our setup. We don't want to have too much tilt where the right shoulder drops, left shoulder gets too high. And then as we come through impact, because my right shoulder's too low at address, that's going to continue that trend into impact. And then from here, you'll start to see this left shoulder go up too quickly. So our weight stays on our right foot, the left shoulder goes up too quickly, causing the club head to hit the ground well before the golf ball. Leading edge starts to rise, left arm disconnects itself from the chest. We see the ball run through the green. All related to the same issue. The next shot we're going to have to compensate and then drive the handle more forward. One thing I want you to practice when we set up to any golf shot, we don't want to have too much tilt. We want to feel like a little bit narrower stance so the ball's more in the middle of stance. And a great drill that you can educate yourself that's going to help improve the connection of your left shoulder and also your transfer away into the follow through is put your right hand on the club first. So cat-handed, if my right hand gets too low compared to the left hand, that causes the shoulders to get a little bit tilted away from the target. So what we're going to do, adopt the Matthew Fitzpatrick chipping style. Put your right hand on the top of the grip first, place your left hand below. And what that's going to do, because my left hand's slightly lower than my right hand, automatically that's going to feel like this left shoulder's a little bit lower. If my right hand below my left hand in the conventional way, right shoulder gets too low, left shoulder gets too high, weight stays on the right foot, left shoulder works up too quickly, and then the club head hits the ground well before the golf ball. Right hand on first, left hand on the bottom. From here, we're going to think about keeping the left shoulder a little bit lower in transition, so instead of your chest being behind the golf ball, we're trying to push our chest, the middle of our sternum, the zip on your jumper, ahead of the golf ball. So I feel like I'm leaning my left knee into my left foot. That's going to push my weight down into the ground. Push your left knee into your left foot, so I feel like I'm pressing the sole of my shoe into the ground. So I push my weight into that left side, and it's also going to feel my left hip's lower at address, but also my left shoulder's a little bit lower compared to my right shoulder. So we're just going to hit some shots, feeling like chest ahead of the ball, left shoulder slightly lower, and through impact, I'm just going to automatically create this feeling of everything's a little bit lower. So left hip's lower, left shoulder's lower, weight's into the left side, and then through impact, I'm really just going to focus on trying to get my chest to point forward. So I'm going to get my chest to point forward, feel like the zip on my jumper points towards the target. We see a lot of golfers who get into this position, the zip points behind the golf ball, left hip rises, club head reaches its lowest point before the golf ball, and that is a recipe for disaster. So think about what you're doing, narrow down the fault, and if you narrow down the root cause, all the other symptoms will systematically vanish. If you're struggling with your pitching, you could hit left-handed shots only. You take your right hand off the club. A great feeling is think about you're taking your left shoulder, pushing it closer so it's over the middle of your left foot. That's going to feel like your left knee sits more over the top of the left foot. It'll feel like all your weight's ahead of the golf ball. Left-handed swings only. All we're really going to do from here is left shoulder stays down a little bit longer in the downswing, and then your left shoulder's going to work up and back throughout the shot. So left shoulder a little bit lower at address. What we do is try to hit that golf ball first, keeping that weight forward, and then left shoulder's going to work up and back, coupled by the chest pointing forward. Another great drill that's going to help you explore this and give you a little bit more of an identity when you're pitching. Place your right hand on the top of the club first. The reasoning behind why we're doing this is it allows that left shoulder to stay a little bit lower at address. It gets the chest ahead of the golf ball, and wherever the left shoulder is located is where the club is essentially going to hit the ground. So if my left shoulder gets too much behind the golf ball, club head's going to hit the ground behind the golf ball. So let's keep this relatively simple. Place your right hand on the top of the club first, place your left hand below. Automatically, because the right hand's on the club first, the left hand's below, you start to feel this left shoulder's lower. You feel like your right knee's over the middle of your left foot. If your left leg feels really heavy, if you were to just take your right foot off the ground and I feel like my left leg's really heavy, that is a great indication that all your weight is into the left side and you're doing this correctly. If it feels uncomfortable, that's when you know you're doing this right. So right hand on top first, weight into the left side, left shoulder's lower, chest ahead of the golf ball. We're just going to hit some shots. Feel like through impact, my chest is just going to rotate towards the target, and a great feeling is going to help you explore that. Think about your left ear, so chest facing the target, dress left shoulder's lower, chest ahead of the ball. That's going to allow us to hit the golf ball first, club to reach its lowest point after impact. The leading edge isn't going to rise, we're going to maintain the loft in the club, but also connection's going to be a little bit lower in the face, so we can channel a little bit more spin on the ball, because the ball's on the club face a little longer, that increases the friction. The ball's going to be on the club face longer, so it'll spin up the club face longer. Allowing your eyes to track down the target line. So think about your eyes tracking down the target line, and a great feeling that's going to help facilitate that is eyes down the target line, coupled by left shoulder moving away from left ear. So eyes down the target line, left shoulder away from left ear, eyes down the target line, left shoulder away from left ear. Allowing the eyes to rotate down the target line, that's going to allow the left shoulder to work up and back, and it's going to create this feeling of left shoulder working up and back, which is automatically going to push the chest forward, and it's going to enable you to commit to the shot a little bit more efficiently. The last thing we want to do is left shoulder works up behind the golf ball, chest stays in a closed position, and we don't fully get our weight back to the left side. So left-handed swings only. Think about eyes tracking down the target line, left shoulder working away from left ear, left shoulder working away from left ear, chest point forward, and that's going to help you develop a sensation of what you need to do differently to create a different result. If you're struggling with your pitching, please feel free to check out that video. 2 great drills that's going to help you eradicate what you're doing. Also, if you want to improve your game in person, I offer in-person lessons at Glenbervie Golf Club in Scotland. Please feel free to get in touch. I have a series of packages in circulation at this moment in time, tailored towards your golf needs and help you improve your game in no time. Also, if you want to qualify for a free online swing analysis via the Skillest app, free of charge, feel free to follow me under Jamie Allen, upload a video of your swing, and I will get back to you within 1 working day. Take care and catch you soon.